Enoch is referenced in the Bible. And the only reason why the book of Enoch is not in the canon of the Bible is because of some rabbis, right?
Well, it's complicated. So the book of Enoch is a compilation of texts, and ranging from the 4th century BC to probably the 1st century AD. The tradition of Enoch, I think, is very old. I think the tradition of Enoch, that story I just outlined, that tradition of Enoch is the oldest story we have. The one upon which all the other stories are based. That's my personal opinion. Now, the actual book of Enoch that we have today, the only reason we have it is because it was preserved in Ethiopia. That's the only reason we have the book of Enoch today.
The Ethiopian Bible.
The Ethiopians preserved it, both the Beta Israel Jews, very, very ancient Jewish community, and the Tawahedo Orthodox Christians.
Do you think they have the Ark of the Covenant?
I think, let's put it this way, I think Graham Hancock makes a very compelling case that they do. Have you read his book, The Sign and the Seal?
Yeah. The whole depiction of these people that are the watchers of this thing get cataracts because it has some radiation properties.
Yeah, very compelling narrative.
Yeah. None of them live more than a couple of years after they get the assignment.
Yeah. I think it's a very strong possibility that they do.
That's crazy.
It would be crazy, yeah. And I think that many people, including Graham, think that the Ark of the Covenant there's something technological about it, something radioactive about it. But it's interesting though, because you have the idea, at the very least, the potential for technology in the antediluvian world, right? Advanced technology. So what do I mean? Well, what if we're talking about the watchers who descended the earth? Like I said, the Hebrews believed that actually happened, that was historical. That wasn't mythological to them, that was historical, that event. Well, what if they did arrive in something like that, like a flying saucer, right? What if there was some level of technology introduced? But I don't believe that it would have been broadly distributed, talking about like an advanced lost civilization. I don't think that technology would be broadly distributed. I think that the technology would remain in these family lines, in these dynasties, because their desire was to govern everyone. So I think what we might be looking for, instead of a technologically advanced civilization, maybe a technologically advanced fraternity within civilization. You see what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like a group that was in control of something advanced, but the rest of the people maybe were Iron Age or something like that, or whatever, Bronze Age level, which is kind of a different perspective.
Well, we see that today, right? I mean, there's plenty of people today that are uncontacted tribes that are living like people lived tens of thousands of years ago.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So
it's not uniform even today.
Right. So I think that's why when we think about, was there a technologically advanced civilization in the antediluvian world, in the world before the Great Cataclysm? I think really what I'm looking for is a fraternity who were in possession of technology that the rest of everyone didn't have. Maybe something like that. Although I will say that I believe that the antediluvians were much more remarkable than we are in every way. I think they were physically more robust than we are. I think that they were intellectually superior to us. As I was saying before, this is how the ancients thought of their antecedents. And so when I look back on the timeline of history, the further you go back, all the way to those pre-flood patriarchs, you're looking at human beings who were so superior to us. I mean, certainly according to the biblical account, they were living much, much longer, almost 1,000 years. You're looking at human beings who we would scarcely be regarded as human like them, because they would have been more human than we are, because we've degenerated. So I see a degeneration, I see a devolution in the human species. We started as something really, really remarkable, and we've been gradually devolving over time, so to speak. We've been degenerating. I think that our antecedents, our antediluvian antecedents, I think they were telepathic. I think that they had these incredible capabilities that are perhaps latent in the human species today.
Well, that might have been why these people had such large heads in Peru, too.
Maybe.
Right?
Maybe everybody had elongated skulls at one time. I don't know. But I mean, think about that, though. I mean, if you were, from a biblical perspective, Adam was created for two fundamental reasons. he was created to govern the earth, but more than that, he was created to fellowship with the Maker, to commune with the Maker. He was created for fellowship. So think about that. If you were created to fellowship with the Maker, with God, you would have some extraordinary capabilities built into your anatomy, into your biology. You would be given the ability to interface with the Maker, and not just with the Maker, but with whatever else is out there as well. So from the very beginning, I think that mankind was imbued, it was intrinsic in our design that we had all of these incredible capabilities. Maybe remote viewing, maybe certainly I would say telepathy, because telepathy is conversation at the speed of thought. Right? I mean, we fumble around with words. It takes us kind of a long time to try and say what we mean. But what if what you wanted to convey to me was done so instantaneously? How much more could you convey? How much more information? How much more efficient would that mode of conversation be?
It certainly seems like if we keep evolving, that's the future. Or if we keep developing better and better versions of technology, one of the things that the gaps that we would bridge is, Elon said that. He said, we're going to be able to talk without words.
Well, the problem is that our technology is getting better, but our species is getting dumber.
Right. And our biology is getting weaker.
And
we're poisoning ourselves.
But it's not just because of poison. Yes, we poison our environment, we poison our bodies, certainly. But I believe that it's clear to me that we have degenerating, and we are degenerating. We are degenerating. So, and this is genetic degeneration. So we have what's called mutational load, human beings, all creatures. We have mutational load. And mutational load is all of the deleterious mutations, all of the negative mutations that happen in our genome. They compile, and it becomes this burden, this genetic burden. We have all of these mutations that we're carrying, mutational load. And the further we go down the line, the more mutational load we have. And again, these are deleterious mutations. So you get all kinds of problems from that. I mean, we basically, what it amounts to is we become less and less and less impressive over time.
Right.
And there's nothing we can do. You can't reverse that. You can't just have a good diet and regain the capabilities that were lost. That's impossible. So we're declining. Our technology is ascending. We're declining. So what we're headed for essentially is a post-human future, a future in which we have to evolve ourselves out of this condition. I would say out of Adam into something else. And I'm not in favor of that, by the way. I'm not a transhumanist. But clearly, you have this conundrum where we are clearly getting dumber as a species. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I can't reference it here, but I saw some data on this the other day, and it's astounding. It's kind of alarming. And not only that, we've realized, I try and remember the reference to this book that details this, but the human species is essentially becoming reproductively inviable. The sperm count of males in the West is declining precipitously, as is our fitness. So that is on the decline, such that I think the projection is in 2045 or something like that. We're going to basically be reproductively inviable. We're going to need a technological intervention, like artificial wombs. Well, what's happening right now? We're developing things like artificial wombs. So it's very interesting that these two things are running in parallel. We're degenerating, but our technology is increasingly getting better. So the result of this is going to be what I describe as post-human apocalypse. I mean, we're headed for a future that's not human. That's what the Yuval Noah Harari is out there prognosticating that I think he says in 120 to 130 years from now, there will be no more human beings left on planet Earth. So why am I saying this? Because I'm illustrating that you go back in time. You go all the way back to the beginning. If you come from a biblical paradigm like I do, you're the first man, Adam. the prototypical man. He has all of the incredible capabilities that are innate, built into his system. He's communing with his maker. He's governing the earth. He can do all of these amazing things. And then as we become copies of Adam all the way down, we're gradually losing these abilities. But I think that some of them are still, latent in the human species. And I think that explains remote viewing and telepathy and things like that. I don't know how I got on that.
Listen, it makes a lot of sense, and it's a fascinating conversation. And I enjoyed this very much.
I did as well.
Thank you very much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Tell everybody if they want to get a hold of your stuff, they want to find you, where they could find you on social media, where they could find your website.
Timothy Alberino on social media, on Instagram, on X. I have a YouTube channel, Timothy Alberino. So I have a book called Birthright, and I also published commentary and introduction to the Book of Enoch with my friends.
Sidonia. We're gonna have to get to that.
That's a whole other conversation.
Next time.
We're gonna.